A few months ago, I alluded to 2024 being loaded with some big changes for our family. I've lived here in Saskatchewan for nearly 40 years, which is my entire life. I've traveled to other parts of the world. This wide open prairie has always been my home, and this year, our family of 8 is planning to move out of province. Not for financial gain or job security. The truth is, we don't know what our income will be or where we're even gonna live. At this point in our lives, I think most people would probably tell us to play it safe and keep doing what's working. We like where we live. We're settled here. We have a lot of family nearby. We have an awesome church family. Our oldest kids are going to a great school. We live in a beautiful area. Life's really good here, and it's comfortable. And I don't necessarily think that life should be uncomfortable. But my own life has proven that it's times of difficulty that God most uses to shape me. Hard times, uncertain times, they require me to rely on God in ways I often would not if things were easier, and I had the illusion of depending on myself and my own strength. Now, don't hear me wrong. I'm not saying we should look for ways to make life hard, and that's not what we're doing. But I know that there are times that Jesus also allows difficulty in my life because it's what he's determined is best for my growth in becoming more like him. And then other times, the opportunities for growth aren't thrust upon us, but we're invited to walk into them in faith. And the thrilling thing about that is knowing that Jesus is faithful. He's proven that to me. I know he's good and can be trusted. And so even though what's ahead is uncertain and honestly a little scary, it's really exciting too. So over the last year, it's become clear to Clay and I and our kids and our friends who are moving with us that Jesus is calling us to move to Edmonton, Alberta to start a new church. Jesus changes everything. I would not be who I am, and my life would not be what it is if I didn't know Jesus. I need him. People need to know him. And there are churches in Edmonton, yes, but there need to be more. When new churches are planted, more people meet Jesus. And that's what we as Christians are here for. We've been given a mission to go and tell people the good news that Jesus came to save us. We were called to this city 9 years ago to be part of starting a new church. And my husband and I have often told our kids we'd probably stay here forever unless we felt that Jesus was calling us somewhere else. And that time has actually come. There's a lot we don't know, but we do know that God is calling us and we want to be obedient to him. And so we're going. Church planting is kind of like a broke entrepreneur trying to get a business off the ground. It's messy and scrappy and uncertain. It's not like a big corporation opening a new office. There's no money pot with financial resources. There's no guarantees of finances or meeting space, but there's a dream, there's a calling, and we want to follow Jesus in faith. So if you're curious to know more about our move and our church plant, I would love if you would subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so that we can get to know each other and spend more time together. I will also leave a link in the description for our church newsletter if you want to stay informed with the process of our church plant and the progress as time goes on. So about moving, our general timeline is to move this summer. And that's about as specific as I can get right now. I know it sounds really vague, but our 3 oldest kids are in high school. And we homeschool the younger 3 kids, but we want our oldest kids to be able to finish the school year here before we move. So that gives us about 6 months to get everything related to our move pulled together. And I do think that moving in general is relatively easy. I've done it a lot. I moved a lot as a kid, and since being married, Clay and I have moved 3 times, and I actually enjoy moving, which might sound weird. I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but I do. I like moving. And now that I think about it, I think moving so many times when I was growing up probably contributed to my minimalish lifestyle. I just learned to hold things with really loose hands. But the 8 moves that I have done in my life have all been within, I think, a half an hour drive of each other. So Moving to a new province is gonna be an entirely different experience. We can't just load up a few trucks and make multiple trips until everything's been moved. We're gonna need to hire a mover, which is something we've never done before. We're gonna have to figure out how the healthcare system works in Alberta because it's quite different than it is here in Saskatchewan, and find new healthcare providers and auto insurance. There will just be a lot of things that are different than they are here. And with so much change on the horizon, it felt really important to me to set some goals for this year, both to be effective with my time and the work that I have to do before the move, and also to have some structure after we move. I know that without goals and habits in place to reach those goals, I flounder quickly and I forget what I'm even trying to do. I know that good habits and goals keep me moving forward when things get hard, and without good habits and systems and goals to work toward, I often just want to quit. Like, I just want to quit everything because I can't even answer the question, what am I here for? I don't know, can you relate to that? With it being a new year, I appreciate the fresh start and the optimism that comes with a new year. And it's easy to think that we can make enormous changes if we just have a desire for change, but our habits and our systems have to align with those goals or they'll never get like an inch off the ground. And I often tend to think too small. So when I sat down to brainstorm my goals for 2024, most of what I wrote down, maybe all of it, was pretty achievable. And in a sense, that's good. You don't want goals that feel so out of reach that you feel defeated before you even begin. But I realized that there needed to be an element of difficulty or even impossibility, not in all areas, but in a few, or maybe even just one. For me, it was one. So for example, I organized my goals into 8 different categories. So 8 categories times multiple goals for each category, that's a lot of goals. And if I'm inspired to reach for beyond what feels possible in every area, I think that would feel really defeating for me. But I need the challenge of working towards something out of reach to motivate me forward, and the safety of achievable goals to remind me that hard work and good habits and effective systems really can get me toward the goals that I have. Like I said, I have a lot of goals this year, like improving my health and decluttering like a maniac and selling our house and buying a new one, settling into a new city. All of these fall into the achievable category. I'm not shooting for the moon with these. I'm being really realistic about what actually needs to happen and then planning what I need to do to succeed. But I'm really excited about my impossible goal for the year, and that's to get better at making videos. I want to grow as a content creator and put more work into planning my videos so that I can tell more thoughtful stories. I've realized that if I'm going to stick with this for the long haul, I need to fall in love with the process of making videos and telling stories. So I'm still figuring out what I'm doing here, what I have to say, and how I want to say it. And I just want to say thank you to you for being here while I figure it out. I've only been on YouTube for a year now, and it's been fun and hard and challenging and rewarding. I'm so thankful for each one of you that watches, and the likes and comments that you leave are honestly so encouraging to me. Thank you for engaging with what I'm putting out here. I'll be sharing more about my goals and how I'm working to accomplish them as time goes on, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss anything. Big changes, guys. 2024 is gonna be big, so I'm curious to know what you're working on. What are your goals? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.